Yes, Jesus loves you. Now it's time to act like it. Welcome once again to another exciting episode of Any Questions with Reverend Dan Sire, in which we engage in a final and part 3 discussion of the topic, Jesus loves you. So let's recap where we're at. And not to flog this thing to death, but the starting point of this discussion, and in my opinion, the starting point of all positive human development, is for you to come to the realization that you are loved, you are a worthy creation of the universe, and that you are matter that matters. And I say this is important because too often the converse of this, the converse of being so desperate to grasp for love in any way, shape, or form, to looking for love in all the wrong places, is a predominant hindrance to any kind of human development. So we start this discussion, this final discussion, with the acknowledgement that you are worthy. Now, when I say worthy, I'm not talking about some sort of fake, everybody gets a trophy for participating kind of worthiness. Rather, I'm talking about a worthiness that is like the universe looking deep into the very marrow of your being and seeing something there. You are worthy. The refrigerator magnet, which you saw at the introduction of this video, is a treasured thing of mine that was given to me by my colleagues at seminary, and it has a very special place on my refrigerator to this day. And it reminds us, yes, you are loved, but now it's time to begin the journey, and of course it's always a journey, it's always a process, to begin the journey of acting like it. And one way we can do that is by looking at the life of Jesus Christ for examples in that guidance. So let's look at his life. One example from his life. He was accepting of others. So should you be as well. So yes, accept yourself and accept others. I'm not calling for any kind of naive, eyes closed, carte blanche acceptance of everything and everyone. But I'm talking about an opportunity for an honest acceptance of others and yourself. And this sort of honest acceptance is one way Jesus teaches us to respond to love. Another example in Jesus' death, and that is an example of courage, the courage to do the right thing. And my gosh, isn't this a time and a place in this world of ours where we need courage? Because we are bombarded 24/7 by all kinds of bad news. But I submit to you that contrary to the 24/7 media protestations to the contrary, we are not doomed. We are not doomed because by you doing the right thing, the world can be positively changed. There's a story from Genesis in which Abraham is bargaining with God for the fate of Sodom. And God's going to destroy Sodom because it's an evil place filled with unrighteous people. And Abraham goes to God and says, well, God, now if there are just 50 righteous people there in all of Sodom, and all that, thousands of people that live there, if there are just 50 righteous people, will you save them? God says, yes, Abraham, I will. And Abraham says, oh, how about 45? How about 40? How about 30? How about 20? How about 10? And God says, yes, Abraham, if there are 10 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare them. Well, obviously there weren't, because they didn't get saved. I was listening to a discussion by Jordan Peterson when he alluded to this very text, and his point was, and I think it's a valid one, his point was that The world can be saved. Your community can be saved. Your family can be saved if just one person, or at least a very few people, have the courage to do the right thing. Be one of those people. Because having the courage to do the right thing is one way in which we can respond to love. And finally, from the story of Jesus' resurrection, and it is a story, it's a great story, a meaningful story, a significant story, a story through which we can learn about the opportunities and the mechanisms of hope. Now, once again, there is much in this world to be anxious about and dismayed about. Nevertheless, we are encouraged to keep the faith, to keep hope. And again, I'm not suggesting any kind of eyes closed, naive, innocent bystander kind of hope. But I'm talking about honest and earnest hope that is made manifest by your active participation in life. For living fully in hope is one way Jesus teaches us to respond to love. In conclusion, once again, and I promise to let the subject rest for a while, once again, you are worthy and you are loved. And how you respond to that love makes a difference not only in your life, but makes a difference in the world, because we are all connected. Things are all connected somehow, some way, which reminds me of something I just heard of the other day called quantum entanglement. As you know, quantum mechanics is one way physicists try to understand the universe. I have no clue what kind of quantum mechanics is all about. But as part of that understanding, that theory, that notion, there's this idea called quantum entanglement. And the example of this is that, I guess it involves subatomic particles. So let's say you've got two electrons in an atom, and they're joined. And they're both spinning in the same direction and at the same speed. Now, some sort of cataclysmic event occurs, and bam! These electrons are separated by hundreds of millions of light years, long distance apart. Yet they continue to spin the same speed, the same direction. However, let's say another cataclysmic event happens, bam, and this electron out here begins to spin in the opposite direction. Well, guess what? Because of this idea of quantum entanglement, because of this idea that somehow, some way, we are all connected, this electron, this other electron, that is 500 million light years away, begins to reverse its direction as well. So now, both of these electrons are spinning in the same and opposite direction. You are worthy and you are loved. And how you respond to that love can make all the difference. Any questions? Subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell, and join us. And it's been a while since I've been here, like a month, but I'll come back next week. Join us next week for another exciting edition. Not sure what we're going to talk about, but it'll be good. Another exciting edition of Any Questions. God bless you all. See you then.